Got a cabbage and an onion. Let's make some Ha-looshh-ski. This is a recipe that supports my protective diet, that helped me to, no, it didn't help me, that slimmed me down 150 pounds from a size 22 to a 2. I am on the verge of 54 years old. I can't believe it. How did that happen? It just went so fast. And the last 20 years have been the best because I'm walking around in a lean machine. And I did it all here in my workplace for wellness on a protective diet. But I remake comfort food recipes from around the world. And this recipe, it has a Polish variation and a Russian variation. And I decided to invite the Russians to the party by adding the caraway seeds. But for the details on this recipe, you'll find them. It's a free recipe. I listed it because it's broth mix inspired. This is a functional food. All of these foods are functional. They are results-driven recipes that produce results like you see before you. So first things first, we're chopping our onion however you want to do it. The recipe will direct you. I mean, everyone's grandmother that makes this recipe, or their mom, or maybe they make it now. I mean, this is a comfort food that became very popular during the Great Depression. But everyone who makes this chops it differently. So if this is a recipe that was in your life, I'm bringing it back to you. Chop it the way that you remember it. And everybody onto a stainless steel sheet pan, because we are taking this next generation. We're putting this under the broiler so that we can char up the edges of the cabbage and the onions. That's what builds all the flavor in this recipe. It originally called for, in some areas, kielbasa. Some areas, bacon. Modern U.S. recipes usually use bacon, but again, this was like a cheap eats recipe, so sometimes that was cut out altogether and just bacon fat was used, or lots of butter, a whole stick of butter. I've heard. Talked to many people about this recipe because it means a lot to the culture that it came from. Several cultures. Plant-based broth mix. It's an organic powdered mix to give this a very buttery flavor. And we have smoked paprika in there to smoke it up like the bacon. But this is going in my Breville Smart Air Pro under the broiler on high. You could do this in your regular oven. I just love this little mini oven for everything. And you just want to make sure none of the top pieces are touching the broiler itself. But this is the first thing I do. I should mention, this is a fast 5 recipe for me. I have over 800 recipes serving Protective Diet Education members on protectivediet.com. But I encourage everyone to have their fast 5 recipes that they know by heart, that when they walk in the door and they need dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less, this is one of my favorites. Then after that's under the broiler, the next thing I do is I get out my Instant Pot, and a pound of pasta goes in. And when I chop my cabbage, I usually cut it up about the same size as the pasta shape that I choose. And in goes the water. And this method of cooking pasta in my Instant Pot makes it perfectly al dente, perfect water to pasta ratio so that it absorbs completely and no straining. I'm going to add that into here with my seasoning and dinner's ready. It's that easy. That is a complete meal right there. It's very protective, and you're not going to get anything like that in a restaurant. Nothing that's going to make you feel like good, comforted home food. That's what this recipe does for me and for Jerry and for all my friends around my healthy table. Clean as you go. It'll make your life better. The next step, I measure all of my dry spices into a little dish. My broth mix, my paprika, my caraway seeds, that's an option on the recipe. Salt and pepper. Pepper boosts the bioavailability of the shiitake mushrooms, the curcumin, the turmeric that's in this broth mix. This, like I said, this broth mix was created for my own personal need and our community's need for a very flavorful broth that we could make ramen with, or this recipe. But it was also created as a functional food to get these top dog ingredients into my diet to promote autophagy, cellular upcycling, to promote health and the life within me, additive free. And you might be wondering, how'd she lose 150 pounds going from a size 22 to a 2 and not have excess skin? I did not have surgery. I ate a protective diet. And when we do that, and Jerry and I fast, we eat one meal a day at sundown, but even before that, my skin, any unused protein, unused tissue, when we are eating a very plant-based, diverse diet, a diet full of polyphenols. This is not a supplement. I keep pointing at this. I'm talking about the cabbage. I'm talking about the parsley and the chives that I picked from my garden that I'm going to add to this. This is optional. Even if you ate that organic white pasta alone and you skip the drive-through, you're going to be slimming down just like you saw me do. It's not what we eat. It's what we don't eat. And this is a fat freedom recipe. When we cut those fats, that bacon fat used in the original that padded us up, we are going to lean down without any exercise. Exercise is wonderful for our mind, body, and spirit. It firms things up, keeps us youthful looking, keeps us strong and independent into our senior years. But it's not essential for weight loss. I was not capable of working out hard when I was in the shape I was in before today. And now I do leisurely dog walks to maintain this. There is no hard work happening here to have what I have. The hard work, which isn't so hard, a lot of times it's in my robe and slippers in the morning, in my workplace for wellness, in the comfort of my own home with my dogs at my feet. During my free time, I spend my time off chopping and shopping for these ingredients or growing them in my garden so that I can have my health, so that I can get dressed easily in the morning, because that was not my life for many years. It was a struggle. Every day I dreaded getting dressed. Now it's fun, and I want you to have that in your life. Perfect timing. Put a diverter or a towel over your steam valve and quick release that pasta. Hot pasta. Give it a stir. Add in your measured spices and seasonings. Give it another stir. And check out the char on this cabbage and the onions. That is flavor building. That's how we do it. No butter in a pan necessary. The original was a lot of butter in a pan to get browning. And it actually took longer because the butter or oil, any fat, is going to inhibit the browning and inhibit your ability to slim down. Trust me. I was a fat vegan. It was terrible. I couldn't get anyone to join me on this diet and lifestyle until I cut the fat. I cut the sugar. I cut the processed foods.
And the food additives.
And the food additives that were relentlessly killing my microbes and causing me to crave. Never feel satisfied unless I had the food with the food additives, the sugar, and the high fat. When you cut them out and you eat real, whole plant-based foods, you don't need them anymore. So give this a stir and add your soybeans and water. That's all soy milk is. This is going to butter up these noodles and cabbage. Ha-looshh-ski is basically noodles and cabbage and onions that's been browned. So if you don't want to get all fancy on it with the smoked paprika flavor to add that bacon undertone without all of the saturated fat and all of the antibiotics and garbage that they feed those poor animals that you are then taking in, make this. But if you want to skip that flavor, that smoky flavor, skip it and just make it without the smoked paprika and without the caraway seeds. And that broth mix, that is going to give you that buttery flavor. And Jerry likes everything with extra pepper. So don't forget the black pepper.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, Jerry and his pepper. It's a Christensen thing. His dad comes over for dinner and he grabs the pepper mill and I see him going. I'm like, that's where that came from. So I've learned to love black pepper, and I also like hot pepper. So I serve this with fermented hot sauce, or you could add some crushed red pepper to that if you want to spice it up without bothering making the hot sauce. But once you make that probiotic pepper sauce, I call it my fermented hot sauce on a protective diet. Oh my gosh, that recipe is so great and easy to put together. You are going to be like, are you kidding? Bother? I live to make that stuff because it's life. It's full of life, full of probiotics. And here we have our prebiotics that feed the life within us, keeping the life within us. That's what we do, is foster the life within us on a protective diet. And we eat a little bit like plant-based monsters around here. Jerry, whatever I can't finish, I hand over to
your human garbage disposal.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful Jerry eats along with me. But I have to mention, number one, there's nothing more rewarding than doing this with someone you love or everyone you love. So make this recipe and they will want to eat with you. It's like a hug in a bowl. It's a European hug in the bowl. That's how I would describe this. And of course I have to add some Asian flair. I love to eat everything with chopsticks. If you know me, I don't have to explain that to you. Oh, and I forgot to add the parsley and the chives. That's just one more layer of plant fiber, and our herbs are so protective. So what I'm gonna do is make Jerry wait a whole nother minute. You know, we do a 24-hour fast every day for the last 8 years. Over 8 years now, I think it's 8 years and a month or something. It was 8 years in February. Oh my gosh, time flies when you're fasted. It sure does. So here I just use these really sharp kitchen shears when I add herbs to things, because usually I'm cooking and I keep an herb garden and outside. And then I have basil here from my garden last summer that I brought indoors before the frost. And guess what? I'm going to transfer them back outside. Or maybe I'll keep them as my indoor basil garden. They're so beautiful. I love the green, the life in here, the life in here, the life in here, the life all around me. That's what it's about, promoting the life, promoting the nature. So, sorry, Jerry, you got to wait a whole nother minute again. And I want to give a shout out to Mary for helping me to pronounce Ha-looshh-ski. Am I doing it right? Hey, Mark, I've been thinking about you as I was making this recipe, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if Mark's mom made this recipe. I've got to find out what I did wrong or what I did right. I sure hope you guys are all enjoying this. I know Marie will be in Chicago. There's my roots. That's where I'm from. And my parents were German. So this recipe, I've also made it with my mom's homemade dumplings, which are already on protectivediet.com under the veggie and dumpling soup. But I'm going to show you a new method to incorporate them with this hug in a bowl, because, oh, Jerry and I had them the other night with my mom's dumplings and just boiled into water. And we were like, oh my gosh, talk about gut plugger for my runner over here. I was like, you know, I'm always just trying to, you know, satisfy his monster, plant-based monster appetite. And those dumplings will do it. And they do it for me too. They fill me up fast, and they're fresh milled whole wheat now. If you want me to update that recipe with fresh milling of the whole wheat so that we get the germ, the whole grain. So we promote the spermidine in our diet and our microbes to promote spermidine, to promote autophagy, cellular upcycling or cellular recycling, so that we can tighten up the skin as we slim down. It's like magic. Like my mom said, after she joined me on a protective diet and she lost 75 pounds, I went to visit her in Florida and she lifted up her shirt. Here she is in her 70s. It doesn't matter. Age is only a number. She lifted up her shirt and she goes, where did it all go? And if I could have only had that on video to watch over and over again, because her amazement it was just such a fond memory I have and I hold so dear. So I hope you can follow through with a protective diet and inspire all of your friends and family, because that's what does it. Become a walking billboard of health, and then no one will question what you're doing, because you're doing it and it shows, it shines. This Instant Pot recipe is ready in about 20 minutes in my workplace for wellness. And if you want the play-by-play on this, the written recipe with all the ingredients measured so perfectly to cook in your workplace for wellness, just comment below. Or go to protectivediet.com and click on broth mix, and you'll see all the free Protective Diet recipes utilizing what we called gold dust. It's my favorite. I created this product to serve a need I had to make broth using organic ingredients that had no food additives. Those box broth concoctions, and they just are so sour and not flavorful. This has got it going on. If you want my mom's dumpling recipe, let me know. I'll make it for you on video. Comment below in the comment section and let me know what you want next. I'm happy to share my protective diet with you. Take care.
And best of health.